Hi, here we are. We are still in Portland, Maine for one last action. We are doing projections here. And just one more time, we're trying to urge Susan Collins to do the right thing and stop the vote. No vote before inauguration on the Supreme Court nominee. Some light here. Look at that. Now you can see me. So I'm going to turn the camera around and you will get to see the projection. So once again, we are in Portland, Maine. We've been here all day long to urge Susan Collins to let the people decide. People are already voting right now, and their voices should be heard. And if you're going to make a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court, it should reflect the will of the people. We need to protect our court and protect our rights. All kinds of rights, reproductive rights, voting rights, the right to work, the right to live in peace. And we will never stop fighting for justice. Senator Collins, keep your promise. We'll hold you to it. And urge your colleagues to not approve a Supreme Court nominee before the inauguration. No vote until inauguration. It's not enough for Susan Collins to just vote no. She should also convince her colleagues to do the same, because it's not right. It's just not right. Millions could lose health care. So this is a fight for our health. You don't think if Amy Coney Barrett got on the Supreme Court that she would vote to overturn Obamacare immediately? Vote to advance racial justice. The Voting Rights Act was already gutted. What else are they going to do? This is important. The election is coming up. Again, we're going to be doing all kinds of more actions to get out the vote. So make sure you vote. That's really, really important. Make a plan to vote. You can, same thing as the primaries, you can vote early in person, you can vote by mail, you can vote on election day. But vote, because the ACA is on the line. But the thing is, we have a crisis coming before the election, and that is the Supreme Court nominee. We have to urge Senator Collins to keep her promise and stop this vote. People are acting like it's done. Like, oh, it's a lost cause. Why? They haven't voted. If we stand up and force them to listen to us, then they can't ignore us. There's more of us. There's more of us that feel that this isn't right. No vote until the inauguration. Period. Don't rush it through. We want to vote to secure reproductive justice. And by the way, Amy Coney Barrett gets on the Supreme Court. That's out the window. Their vote doesn't matter in that case in some respects. We've got to do stuff before the election to make sure she doesn't get on the Supreme Court. Hey. We're here right in the middle of downtown Portland, Maine. And it's true, voters support Roe, but Amy Coney Barrett doesn't. There's enough people on the Supreme Court right now who don't support Roe. We don't need one more. So we are right in the heart of downtown Portland. We are projecting on the Portland Museum of Art, simply because it's probably one of the better projection locations we found. It's, you know, just to talk about logistics, it's flat and it's dark. There's no windows, so you can actually read all the words. Or there's 2 tiny windows or something, but you can read the words. That's why we picked this building. No issue with the Portland Museum of Art, for sure, but It's a nice flat surface, and it's right at a cross section of about 4 streets in downtown Portland. More than 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 streets. It's a big intersection. So, and it's cool too because we're at a stoplight. So basically every time, cars have to stop at the stoplight, they can read the projections. So we want to urge everybody in Rhode Island to pressure Susan Collins, but of course everybody in Maine as well. The other ones that are going to be voting for her or against her. So they should definitely be urging her to keep her promise and do the right thing. We have to protect our court so that we can protect our rights. And it is true. We will never stop fighting for justice. Even though we're tired, even though we feel like we just can't do anymore, we have to keep fighting because there's more battles to be had. In case you wondered where Emily is, she's right here.
Oh, hello.
She's doing the still photos today. She's the projection partner extraordinaire. No vote until inauguration. We can stop this. We can stop this if we try. If we don't try, we definitely can't stop it. Millions could lose health care coverage. This is a fight for our health and for justice. You want to vote to advance racial justice, but we also want to make sure the Supreme Court advances racial justice as well and not set it back decades like it did with the Voting Rights Act. I'm going to go take a little step back so you can kind of see what the whole safely kind of across the street, so you're going to get a sense of where we are in Portland. Like I said, we're right in the middle of kind of downtown area. I'm not super familiar with Portland, but we're right in the middle of downtown. You can see we're right on a building, the Portland Museum of Art, and there's cars. We're at a big intersection, see? This is a big intersection. Not so busy right now because it's almost 11 o'clock, but, anybody that's walking by can get a sense of what we're trying to say, which is that we don't want any vote until inauguration. And we want to vote to secure reproductive justice. Again, I have to say, if you've been following these projections, this one is pretty solid because the surface is really good. We like a surface that is flat and dark and with no windows. That's what we have here at the Portland Museum of Art. Remember, voters support Roe, but Amy Coney Barrett doesn't, so I don't think she should go on the Supreme Court. A lot of people don't think she should go on the Supreme Court. Senator Collins, keep your promise. We're watching. Keep your promise. No vote until inauguration. Not just the election, because what happens if they all lose and then they put someone through in the lame duck? That could happen, but we don't want that. No vote until inauguration. Again, we are in beautiful downtown Portland right here. See? Right in the middle of, downtown. Nice little town, nice city, Portland, Maine. Not so different from Providence, really. And we want to let the people decide. We're too close to the election to put through a lifetime appointee to the Supreme Court. We have to protect our court. We have to protect our rights. And the only way we can do that is if we take a stand right now. And we do not allow them to confirm a Supreme Court justice. We just can't allow it. And if we all stand up and fight, they won't do it. Everybody has this like defeatist mentality right now. I don't quite understand why. If we stand up and fight and say no, they won't do it. But, we all have to do our part. We got to pressure. Susan Collins is the closest to us in Rhode Island, so that's who we're pressuring. This is a fight for our health and for justice. The ACA is at risk. Roe is at risk. All kinds of rights for marginalized folks are at risk with the Supreme Court nominee. Yep, this person's rock and roll right here. Hello. I like Portland. Seems like there's been pretty nice people so far. Is this MLK? I'm not sure what you mean. We are at the Portland Museum of Art. I don't know what street we're on. It's definitely the Portland Museum of Art. And we're urging Senator Collins to keep your promise. The road. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't think that's that road. Not too familiar with the streets of Portland just yet. There's some drunk people in an Uber going by. We just want to make sure that Susan Collins keeps her promise. And that, honestly, to me, personally, it's not enough for her to just keep her promise. I think she needs to stop this. I think she needs to influence her colleagues to stop it because it's not right. If you see something that's not right, you got to stop it. And she has the power to stop it, so because she can influence her colleagues. She can have conversations with whoever, Tom Tillis or whoever, and say, hey, we shouldn't do this. This isn't right. We got two justices already. That's enough. We stole one. We don't need to steal another one. Let's be fair. Don't get distracted by all this crazy stuff in the news too, because yes, a lot of people have COVID in the government right now. Well, that's their own fault. I mean, not to blame people who catch COVID, but they flaunted their not mask wearing. But don't get distracted. Like, I wouldn't put it past them to still try to force this through before the election. Or even worse, to force it through before, the president might deteriorate. They might try to force it through even faster. Who knows? We just have to stand up. We have to stand up and fight. We can't allow this. I'm sure the vast majority of Americans believe it's not right to force through a Supreme Court justice right before the election, especially when they didn't do it 10 months before the election for Obama. This is ridiculous. Yep, we have a little, very tiny projection team. It's me and Emily here. Just reminding us that we all have a voice, and we should use it. We have a voice. We should definitely use it. We will never stop fighting for justice. She has to keep her promise, for sure. She has to keep her promise. And she just has to stop the vote. She has to figure out a way to stop it because it's not right. It's up to all of us to stop the things that aren't right in the world, otherwise they keep happening. Also, this is not related, but the moon is really nice tonight. You can't really see it on the live stream, but it's nice. Looks like it's almost full, not quite, maybe. But definitely vote to advance racial justice. The election is coming up. We got to stop this nomination and we got to vote. Let's make sure we vote. Vote to advance racial justice. Yeah, we're in a great spot because it's right at a big intersection with stoplights. And so it's not just people driving past on the street. It's people who stop at the stoplight and look at it and read it. So that's good. Again, just reiterating, we are in Portland, Maine, to urge Senator Collins to keep her promise and to not have a vote until inauguration, not just the election. So what if they lose the election and then still push something through in the lame duck? Can't do that. All right. Get one more little close-up look. And then it is getting late. I'm going to cross correctly this time and go to the crosswalk. And just back up across the street in the middle. All right, light is red, so I'm going to walk. All right. But yes, people are walking by. People are seeing what we're doing here. Senator Collins, one last time, please keep your promise and stop this vote. What time is it? It's 11:07. All right. So it is getting late. We are going to wrap it up here from Portland. And you know what? This might not be the last time you see us in Portland. We got to keep pushing. This was just the beginning. We're just going to keep ramping up. So stay engaged, keep fighting, keep pressuring Susan Collins. Make sure you vote and make sure we stop this confirmation process. All right. This is Tammy and Emily from the Woman Project, and we are out. Good night.